Welcome to Word 2, Merging Letters and Labels. For this course, we'll be working in Word. If you haven't launched Word yet, go ahead and stop the class, launch Word, and then return to the class. In this class, you'll learn how to use Word's Mail Merge feature. You can use Mail Merge to create letters or labels with personalized information. You'll need a mailing list or a contact list containing records with fields such as first name, last name, and address. This can either be a file that you create using Word's Mail Merge feature, or you can use an Excel file, and the preferred method is to use an Excel file. You'll also need a main document. That main document contains both text and then fields for personalized information, such as first name, last name, and address. Finally, you'll create a merge document. Your merge document, which could be a form letter or possibly labels, contains standard text from the main document and personalized text, such as name and address, from the mailing list. The easiest way to complete the mail merge process is to use the Mail Merge Wizard. It will guide you through each step in the merging process. You'll need to have a blank document displayed before beginning. Because you've just opened Word, you should have a blank document. If you don't, use the shortcut key combination Control-N to create a new document. The first type of document I'll show you how to create with the Mail Merge Wizard is a letter. To begin, move to the Mailings tab and click. Next, in the Start Mail Merge group, click on the Start Mail Merge arrow. Next, select Step by Step Mail Merge Wizard. Notice the Mail Merge pane that displays on the right-hand side of your screen. This will guide you through the mail merge process. We'll begin the merging process with step 1 of 6 in the Mail Merge pane. You'll begin by selecting the document type. Under What type of document are you working on? Letters is already selected, so we won't change that. We'll be sending a letter to a group of people, and then we'll personalize the letter that each person receives with their address and greeting. We're ready to move on to the next step. Move to the section with blue text at the bottom under Step 1 of 6 and click Next Starting Document. We've now moved to Step 2. We'll begin by Select Starting Document. Under the question, how do you want to set up your letters, keep Use the current document selected. If you complete mail merges on a regular basis, you could save your document as a template or as a regular document and use that existing document to complete the merge. We'll create and save our main document using this blank document. We're ready to move on to the next step. Move to the text under Step 2 of 6 and click Next Select Recipients. We're now on Step 3. Under Select Recipients, keep Use an Existing List selected. There is also an option to select from Outlook contacts or to type a new list. But it's best to have a list created in Excel and then browse to find the file. So we'll move under Use an Existing List, and we're going to use names and addresses from a file. So we'll click Browse. Now we'll need to find the Excel merge file. At the Select Data Source box, find the Excel merge file. Yours is most likely in a Documents library. Mine is in a Documents folder stored under My Class Files. If you need to stop the class to navigate to your file, go ahead and do that. Once you find the file, you'll double-click to open the file. A Select Table dialog box will display. You'll click OK, and the Mail Merge Recipient dialog box will display. This dialog box shows you all of the records or names in your file. This is called your data source. This data source is an Excel file that we will use in the merge process. Notice the column headings. These represent the fields that will be placed in your main document and then merged. Notice there is last name, first name, title, address, city, state, zip code, and email. When you are setting up an Excel file to use with a word merge, be certain to create last name, first name, and title column headings. Notice that in the mail merge recipient box, you can sort and filter and find duplicates of names. That information is presented in a more advanced class. For this class, we'll click the OK button. Notice under Use an Existing List, you now see the name of the file that you selected. We're ready to move on to step 4. Move to the text under step 3 of 6 and click Next, Write Your Letter. We are now ready to create the main document by keying text and by inserting fields. In this scenario, we would be using letterhead stationery, so we will begin our letter with the date, and then we'll add the recipient's address, the greeting line, the body of the letter, and the closing. If you need to, move to the blank document and click until your insertion point displays. Next, insert the date. Instead of keying the date, we'll insert the date to update automatically. Move to the Insert tab and click. Move to the far right of the ribbon to the Date and Time button and click. Click on the third selection and make sure there's a check mark next to Update Automatically. Next, click OK. The date is inserted, and if this letter was used again on a different date, the date would be updated. Press the Enter key only one time. Because of the paragraph spacing in Word 2010, Word 2013, or Word 2016, the Enter key should be pressed only once between paragraphs. You should return to the Home tab because we may need to use commands in the Home tab at a later point. Next, we are going to insert the address. Anytime we need to insert recipient information, we'll use the items that display in the Mail Merge pane. When we move over to the Mail Merge pane, we can see that we can easily insert an address block. This will merge the information for each record in our contact list into the letter. Click on Address Block. Notice there are options to change the display of the address, but more often than not, you will not make any changes and you will just accept the default settings. At the Insert Address Block dialog box, click the OK button. Next, press the Enter key. The next item we'll add to the letter is the greeting line. Move to the Mail Merge pane and click Greeting Line. Notice that the Insert Greeting Line dialog box gives options. Let's make one change. Let's use the drop-down arrow to the right of the comma and select colon. Next, click the OK button. Press the Enter key. Now we would insert the body of the letter, and we will key the text just like we would in any type of letter we create in Word. Let's go ahead and key the body of the letter. Be certain to press the Enter key 2 times after sincerely to leave room for a signature. We are now ready to move on. Move to the blue text under step 4 of 6 and click Next, Preview Your Letters. You can now preview your letters. We have only 3 letters because we have 3 records in our contact list. Notice that the first record displays, but you can move into the Mail Merge pane and use the double arrows to move to the next record and then the third record. And you can also use those arrows to move to the previous record. Notice that we need to adjust the spacing in the address. The spacing displays in this manner because in Word 2010, 2013, and 2016, paragraph space is built in. Each time we press the Enter key, it creates paragraph space. For an address, we do not want to use paragraph spacing, and that is very easy to correct. Notice in the Home tab, in the Styles group, the normal style is selected. That normal style includes paragraph spacing. For the first two lines of the address, we want to change the style from normal to no spacing. To do that, select the first two lines of the address. Notice when you click in the address, all of the information is selected. That is because this is a merge field. Remember, that is a field that the information from each record is merged into to create our letters. So you'll have to take one more step in order to select the first two lines of the address. With the text in address block displaying as gray, use your mouse to select just the first two lines. You'll notice those lines are selected because they display as a darker color gray. To turn off the default paragraph spacing, move your mouse to no spacing and click. You have now adjusted the spacing for this recipient as well as all of the other recipients. So you can click anywhere outside of the address. Now that we've previewed our letters, we're ready to move to the next step. In the blue text under step 5 of 6, click Next, complete the merge. You are now ready to complete the merge. Notice you have the option to print or to edit individual letters. Let's use Edit Individual Letters. This will allow us to save the letters as a Word document and to edit them if necessary. Click on Edit Individual Letters and keep all selected because today we're going to merge all records. Next, click OK. You have now created the merged document. The letters display in Word, and the name of the document is Letters. Go ahead and scroll through so you can see each of your letters. There's letter 1, letter 2, and finally letter 3. And then scroll back to the top. Let's save this file as My Merged Document. Click on the File tab and then click Save and save it to your Documents folder. Call this file Merged Letters and then click Save. Remember the process we used to create this merged letter. Using the Mail Merge Wizard, we selected our document as Letter. We selected our recipients, and those recipients were in an Excel file. We then created a main document, and then we merged the two files together. Merged Letters has been saved, so let's close that file by clicking on the X. That will bring us back to our main document, and we will still see the display of our Mail Merge pane. Let's save this document and call it Main Document. Click on the File tab and then Save, and you can save this to your Document folder. Let's go ahead and call this one My Main Document, and then click the Save button. We are finished with this merge, so let's close this document. Click on the File tab and then click Close. You can also use the Mail Merge Wizard to create mailing labels using the contact list from Excel. The information you learn to create a merged letter will be helpful when you create merged labels. To begin, move to the Mailings tab and click. Next, click on Start Mail Merge and then select Step-by-Step Mail Merge Wizard. The Mail Merge Wizard pane opens. Under Select Document Type, what type of document are you working on? Select Labels. Next, move to the blue text under Step 1 of 6 and click Next Starting Document. In Step 2, under Change Document Layout, click the blue Label Options text. At the Label Options dialog box, you want to select the type of label you will be using. Notice that I have under Label Vendors Avery US Letter selected, and then under Avery US Letter product number, I've selected 5160 Easy Peel address labels because that is a very common type of address label to use. Go ahead and stop the class if you need to. Change the label vendor to Avery US Letter and the product number to 5160 Easy Peel address labels, and then return to the class after making those selections. Now that you have selected Avery US Letter, 5160 Easy Peel address labels, click the OK button. We're now ready to move on to the next step. Under Step 2 of 6, click the blue text Next Select Recipients. Now we will click the blue Browse button in the Use Names and Addresses from a File or a Database section. Just like we did with the letters, we'll choose the Excel file that has our contact information. Yours is most likely in your Documents folder under My Class Files, and the file is called Excel Merge File. Once you have navigated to the file, double-click to open the file. At the Select Table dialog box, click OK, and then at the Mail Merge Recipients dialog box, click OK. Notice under Use an Existing List, it reads, Currently your recipients are selected from Excel Merge File. We're now ready to move on to the next step. Under Step 3 of 6, click the blue text that reads Next Arrange Your Labels. Notice that our labels are displayed, and there is a field in each of the labels except for the first label that reads Next Record. The Next Record fields are added automatically in order for the merge to work correctly. We will need to add an address block field to each label. To do that, move to the Mail Merge pane and click Address Block. At the Insert Address Block dialog box, click the OK button. Notice that the address block field is inserted into the first label. In order for each label to display an address, you must replicate the labels. In the Mail Merge task pane, under Replicate Labels, click Update All Labels. Notice that now each of the labels has an address block added to the label. Remember, the Next Record field was already inserted. The purpose of the Next Record field is to direct Word to merge subsequent data. In other words, to insert an address and then on the next label to insert the next address on the contact list. We're now ready to move on to the next step. In the blue text under Step 4 of 6, click Next Preview Your Labels. And you can now see that all of your records are displayed in labels. And you're now ready to move to the next step and complete the merge. In the blue text under Step 5 of 6, click Next Complete the Merge. Generally, people do not save their Mail Merge label files. They print the labels and then use the labels. In order to print the labels, you would move to Print in the Merge section and click. And you would print the labels by clicking OK. And at the Print dialog box, click the OK button. And those are all the steps needed to complete the Mail Merge process with labels. If this mailing list includes people that you send information to on a regular basis, you might want to save this document. So let's save this file and call it My Merged Labels. To do this, move to the Save button in the Quick Access toolbar and click. You can save this to your Documents folder, and we'll call it My Merged Labels, and then click the Save button. Next, let's close the file by moving to the File tab and then clicking on Close. So you've now learned how to use the Mail Merge Wizard to create a merged letter and merged labels. And we are finished with the class. Thank you for participating in this class. Check our website for more classes and tutorials.